Here it is, baby. Yes. Yes, let's go ahead and check everything right quick. Let's check everything, baby. Everything looks good. All right, let's start up one more thing real quick. Hey, no sir. Drinking out of the toilet? The hell? All right. All right. All right. Cool. We're good. What's up, guys? What's going on, everybody? What up, what up, what up? What's good, y'all? Let me go ahead and get all this ready, and then we're going to go ahead and dive into it. Let me make sure everything sounds good. I think we're pretty good, though. I'm trying to get in a YouTube live stream a little bit, so make sure you guys drop a like, you know, support what you guys can do. Do what to do, what to do. It's free. It is free as can be. We're dropping TikToks. After this, we're going straight to the Twitch for some gaming. But here, it's just all going to be music. In YouTube, it's all going to be music. No gaming over here unless it's on the second channel. Let me get some water, and then we're going to get right into it. We're going to go... Maybe we'll go in order. Maybe we'll go in order. All right, bro. All right, so it's going to be all the homies. People are, if you're going to be watching this live or if you're going to be watching this later, what's going on? I'm Triton117. Welcome. I'm trying to spread all of the content throughout all of the platforms that I'm involved in. I'm on pretty much every platform, so if you guys want to hang out, you guys want to vibe, join the community. It's a good time, man. I'm a huge Eminem fan, a really freaking huge Eminem fan. And moving forward, I want to try and do some more content with his stuff. Kind of working a little bit of my stuff, and we're just going to have a good time. We're just going to have fun, okay? You guys feel free to chime in. Feel free to talk about it, but we're going to go in order, okay? So this first one, we're going to start with Eminem Infinite. Not going to lie, I have not heard his Infinite album many times. I have seen and heard a couple things, okay? And let's dive down. I gotta have a rationale behind every decision that I make, okay? So I've heard that in Eminem Infinite's album, one, this is when he was on his grind, right? He was literally handing out his cassette tapes, and I mean, this is the album that got him discovered, but isn't necessarily what launched him to fame. Eminem Infinite, I'm gonna say that one, what I've heard again, is that this album really didn't set him apart from any other people. You could clearly tell that he was influenced and who was his influencees at the time. I've probably heard it beginning to end maybe once or twice. I mean, it's also only on YouTube, I think, or something crazy. It's really not anything special, but I have heard that there's a couple verses in there that are freaking nuts, okay? I mean, this is his first album. This is what technically launched his career. I don't feel comfortable putting it at a D, so I'm going to put it at a C, okay? I'm going to put it at a C because this is Eminem's most rawest form, in a way. It's his first album, and, I mean, there's really not much else you could say about it. We're just going to keep it there, and, yeah, I don't feel comfortable putting it at a D, but I do think it'll be a C. At the end, I'm going to probably rearrange some stuff so it all makes sense. And then, just so everything makes sense, okay? All right, next up is Slim Shady LP. Now, this one launched the infamous My Name Is. This is literally what launched Eminem's career. And I'm thinking, what's going on, Informal? I'm thinking that, you know, because of how strong this album did on his career and how much of an insanely worldwide impact that this album has, I mean, yeah, this is gonna be a video. It's gonna be saved. It's gonna be saved, so it'll be a video. Honestly, you have to put this S. I mean, you just have to put this S. Anything lower, Now, this is my personal taste. Now, it is possible when we get later on in the tier list that I might move this down to an A, because personally, I understand the worldwide impact that it had, but personally, it's not my favorite album. I understand the impact that it had worldwide. I understand it has some freaking classics in there that you can't pass up. But just thinking about it, just moving forward, I don't know, man. I just, it's not my favorite album, but there are some bangers on it. So I'm going to keep it at an S from the beginning, and it possibly will move down to an A as we move on. Now, again, this is my personal list. Marshall Mathers LP, S. Not a skip. Not a skip. A 10 out of 10. And that's where I have the biggest problem with the SSLP, Slim Shady LP. I feel like there might be a skip or two in there. Marshall Mathers LP, I'll be at work, and this is bumping in my headphones the entire day. I could play this album on repeat. No freaking skips in there for me. Without a doubt. Not one skip. So, Slim Shady LP might take a dip as we get farther along, but this is how we're going to keep it for now, okay? Let's keep going. Encore, personally, hard D. Hard D. And let me give my rationale, okay? Before you guys get mad at me in the comments or whatever it is. There are some bangers in there. And this is where Eminem was at the peak of his addiction. I remember reading that he was taking like 40 Valium a day or Vicodin or something like that. Dude, he was taking... This was at pretty much the peak of his addiction. I think this may be like a year before it. A year or two before his peak addiction, like in 2006. Encore has like Mockingbird. It has Cleaning Out My Closet. I know it has some bangers in there. But personally, I can't get through this album. I just can't get through this album. Now, there are some songs in Curtain Call, I think, that are pretty freaking solid. And I thought that the songs in Curtain Call were in Encore. This time period of Eminem is just not my favorite. It's just not my favorite. And I know it's not a lot of people's favorite, but I understand that, again, dude, you have to take into consideration this dude was at the absolute peak of his drug addiction. Like, he probably thought that he was going to die. So you can't completely blame it on him. It is not his fault. And he even said that he doesn't remember making most of these songs and albums. So we're going to keep it at a D, but with an understanding that this man had ridiculous potential at that age, but like, he was just not in a good headspace. He was not in a good headspace. You know what? I just realized I skipped the Eminem Show. Personally, Eminem Show is an A. No, S. And look, this is his infamous 3-album run. His infamous 3-album run, the 3-album run that nobody's ever going to be able to touch in the history of rap. Some people say maybe Kendrick can come close, but I get it. Honestly, in this 3-album run, though, I think Slim Shady LP is the weakest. I know it's what launched his career. I know it has a lot of, strong impacts and a lot of, like stuff that just grabs your attention and freaking shakes you and through, especially in the rap game. But you guys have to understand, that 3-album run, Rock was and so I have a music degree, if you guys don't know. And if you guys have made it this far, thank you guys. It's only 8 minutes in. But this 3-album run is literally what launched rap into the forefront of music. And whatever, you guys can disagree, but that doesn't matter. That's not it for debate. Rock, Metallica, Megadeth, Beatles, like that kind of stuff was dominating in 60s, 70s, like rock was 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And the only reason why rap is as strong as it is now is because of Eminem's 3-album run. You guys can argue and say it's NWA, all of that stuff. That was only popular in America. NWA, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, these guys were not worldwide. These guys were not worldwide, and a lot of people don't recognize that. And I'm talking worldwide. I'm not talking about the 5 biggest countries or whatever. I'm not talking about like Russia, America, like Australia. I'm not talking about I'm talking about every single country. Taking into consideration every country in the entire world, there was nothing bigger and probably no one that will be bigger in rap than Eminem. So that 3-album run is the reason why I'm going to keep that at S. But SSLP personally is the weakest. We already talked about Infinite. We already talked about Encore. So in this point in time, this is when Eminem hits his overdose. This is when he's going through the roughest time. Proof passes away. He's barely able to keep his head above water. I mean, honestly. And he overdoses. 2 years after Encore, I think Encore came out in 2004. He overdoses in 2006. And I mean, he's off the map. Everybody's wondering, where the hell is Eminem? Is he ever going to come back? Is that the end of his career? Is he going to drop some of the biggest rap music? Some of the biggest music of all time. In 2000, Eminem was literally the biggest artist that was there. And I'm talking about all kinds of music. The biggest artist. So, at this point in his career, everyone's wondering, is he ever going to come back? And this man launches Relapse. Relapse, in my opinion, hard S. Easy S. Easy S. My argument is that Relapse is on par or right below Marshall Mathers LP. 100%. Easy without a doubt. Without a freaking doubt. Relapse has no skips, in my opinion. Not one skip, just like Marshall Mathers LP. And this, again, this is all my personal taste. But I can bump Relapse 100%. I can bump it in the car. I can bump it in my own music, like while I'm at work, you know, at Starbucks managing. I can bump this anytime, 24/7, no skips, without a doubt. What's up, Erky? What's going on, brother? 100% without a doubt. Marshall Mathers LP and Relapse, there's not one skip in there. I can listen to these albums all the way through and be entertained the entire way. The Eminem Show, I think it's just like SSLP, Slim Shady LP. There's probably about 1 or 2 skips in there that are just not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. Let's keep going. Bro, Relapse, in the production on Relapse from Dr. Dre, bro, you guys got to admit, and Eminem's talked about this, dude. People don't, even though Relapse might not be the coolest, most hippest album, for Eminem to make that album was probably, he said in his own words, was probably one of the hardest and toughest things that he could possibly do. One of the hardest things that he could possibly do. After he overdosed, he said he was sober. He was not the same person. He had no idea. Music was completely different to him. He heard it differently. He went about it differently. He approached it differently. Everything was different. So when people shit on Relapse, dude, like, this is the launch of literally a new person from Eminem. That is so funny. I just saw an Eminem ad right there. But people just honestly, they just don't realize, dude. Relapse was the launch of a completely new artist as Eminem, as we know it. Now, Relapse was technically Slim Shady, and that was this is my favorite album personally. I will never ever stop listening to Relapse, and a lot of people hate on it, and that's where Recovery came from. But oh man, it's just Relapse holds a special place in my heart. Now, I'm already thinking that there's going to be a couple things that I'm going to have to move, but let's just get on with the list, and then I'm going to edit it, and then at the end, it's going to be finalized. So, Relapse is going to inspire Recovery. Now, people say Recovery is Relapse too, and I didn't really believe that, or I didn't really understand until I heard the beginning of Recovery. Now, I think that, like, the beginning of Recovery is, like, Relapse 2, and at the end, he's kind of getting, it's like its own album. And during this time, Eminem was probably at the peak of what people call his pop phase. This man was doing, I mean, he's like in Airplanes 2, which I just heard of like a month ago. I've never heard of Airplanes 2. Let's pretend Marshall Mathers never picked up the pen. Let's pretend things would have been no different. Pretend he procrastinated, made a day for the friends. I had never heard that song. Pretend he even had a friend to say was his friend. That is such a good feature. All of these dope freaking features that Eminem is on is all around this 2009. There they go, back in stadiums as Shady spits his flow. Nuts they go. Forever, one of the biggest rap songs to date, where you have the 4 biggest artists of the time. Lil Wayne, Drake was on the come up with Nicki Minaj. Eminem and Kanye West, have them 4 on one song, dude. That is insane. I wish I was like sentient during that time, dude. I had to have been like in elementary still when that came out. Maybe middle school. What was like 2000? No, I was for sure in 6th grade. I was like in 5th or 6th grade. I was not listening to Eminem at that time. And I wish I was, bro, when that song came out. Anyway, Relapse, without a doubt. Recovery. You have to put at an A. Recovery, you have to put at an A. And look, this is why. This was probably Eminem's most mainstream song of this time. Not Afraid, Love the Way You Lie. These are some of his highest stream songs. And out of respect, you have to keep it A. I think anything below A is just a little bit disrespectful in my opinion. I'm trying to think. There's an argument to be made that I think it could go to B. But God, honestly, man, like... Honestly, you just can't put it lower than an A. I mean, the amount of not streams, but how popular his albums were at this time, how this, like 2009 to like 2013, 14, Eminem was untouchable, bro. And his features were a mix of like pop and rap. He'll even, it's not hip hop, it's pop, because I found hella way to fuse it in Rap God. Dude, like, nah, man, like this is like where he completely transforms rap. As we know it, this entire time period. At that same time, I have to put Marshall Mathers LP2 on an A. Now, I think that, honestly, I think there's kind of a good amount of skips in here. There's a good amount of skips in here. Now, I already see that I'm going to bump some stuff down from S to an A and probably from A to a B. But off the dome, this is what I'm thinking still. And I mean, Marshall Mathers LP2... This is where he literally completely, not redefined, but he relaunches Slim Shady. He dyes his hair blonde again. He does Rap God. He launches it with, God, I can't remember exactly how he announced the album, but I think he announced the album with his blonde hair, if I'm not mistaken. Now, some of you guys, you Eminem stans can kind of correct me regardless, but nah, man, like this made history, dude. Like, and I remember, I was definitely in high school when this came out. Berserk was insane. Berserk was ridiculously popular. And I remember, and that's not even his most popular song on the album. But that was so ridiculously played. So I can't even imagine what Rap God would have been like. Dax Rap God, yeah, I might check it out. I can't even imagine how popular Rap God was at this time. Like, I probably can't even fathom how ridiculously popular that album would have been. Or how song that would have been. I was just too young. I was a freshman in high school. I wasn't really listening him until a year after. 2014 is when I started listening to him. And the farthest I went back was just Recovery and Marshall Mathers LP2. That is all I had heard until, like, closer to college. Yeah, man, I'm going to have to rearrange some of this stuff, but let's just get through it. So after 2013... Damn, is there really? Oh, so, okay, well, the honorable mentions, you get, Welcome to Hell. Not Welcome to Hell. Hell the Sequel with Bad Meets Evil, him and Royce. I'd probably put that, like at a hard, B. Probably just because it didn't do numbers like it was supposed to, but the rapping on that was pretty ridiculous. Was pretty freaking ridiculous. Yeah. I'd probably put it at a hard B. That's just an honorable mention. What's another one? Then the launch of Slaughterhouse. The song that I am bumping like crazy right now is Our House from the Slaughterhouse album. I can't remember the name of it. Maybe the album name is Our House actually. That song is underrated. Eminem's feature on that is freaking insane, and I love it. So I haven't listened to the Slaughterhouse all the way, that album all the way through, but that's another honorable mention. So people think he took a break all the way from 2013 to 2017, but he was doing some side projects. He just didn't have any solo projects during that time. Now let's go to Kamikaze. Yeah, I'm going to have to change a lot of this, but Kamikaze? Oh, shit, man. This is a tough one for me because a lot of Eminem didn't make any strong strides until when Kamikaze came out. Eminem broke the internet. Eminem straight up broke the internet with the launch of Kamikaze. No one was expecting it. Everybody was listening to Eminem during this time. Everybody. When Kamikaze came out, Now, a lot of hip-hop Twitter thinks that this album didn't age well. But God, what could Kamikaze be placed at? Oh, I'm very tempted to put it at an S. I'm very tempted to put it at an S. Yeah. Nah, this is hard. I'm going to put it at an A. For right now, it's just mainly leaning towards an A. But Kamikaze has some of the craziest bars that I've ever heard. It has some of the craziest bars that I've ever heard. You better have arms if you're going to pull up. Skirt. And what that means, you better have arms if you're going to pull up like a pull-up. But you better have arms like guns if you're going to pull up like a drive-by. Like the pull-up, like drive up with the gun. Bro. When he's talking about Machine Gun Kelly, man, you've never even been charged with battery, bitch. You ain't plugged into nothing. Because he's like Machine Gun Kelly's trying to act all hard, like he's gonna shoot him or he's gonna fight him, and he like Eminem's brain in this time was just putting together ridiculously crazy metaphors, metaphors, bars. No, bro, what? Let's log back in real quick. Let's do boats real quick. It's okay. It's gonna happen. Okay, anyway, we're back. Eminem's bars were getting freaking ridiculous in Kamikaze. It is possible by the end of the stream, I'm gonna put it at an S. But for right now, I'm gonna keep it at an A. One honorable mention that I forgot is Eminem's Southpaw soundtrack. Now, we have only a couple songs that we can go off of. We have Kings Never Die. We have Phenomenal. We have Phenomenal, Kings Never Die. Oh, there has to be one more that he was on. Fuck, is that it? All I think about with those, gave me a heart attack, sorry. With Eminem's Southpaw soundtrack, which isn't listed, that's an S. Those 3 songs, and you guys got to feel me on this. You guys got to really feel me in my freaking chest on this. Those 3 songs have the best rap bars I've ever heard. Next time I go live, I'm going to, like on YouTube, I'm going to be talking about those bars in the 3 songs. The one that comes to mind is Kings Never Die has like my top, like 2 of my top 5 Eminem bars of all time. Where he literally says, I'm racing around the track. I'm racing around the track. They're going to have to blow me out to make me retire. We're saying I'm racing around the track. It's going to have to be a blowout to make me to retire. To these new artists, the Kings Never Die. No shit has changed on the stage. Fuck a Twitter page. Be it to say that dude, that bar, think about it, bro. They're going to have to blow him out as in a blow out of the water to make him retire. Now that means 2 different things, obviously, off the bat. That means, the person that's being featured has to blow him out of the water to make him retire from rapping. Simultaneously, where he's talking about racing around the track, that's talking about a tire blowout and the retire. When your tire blows out, you gotta retire it, bro. You gotta put a tire back on. That is a crazy bar. That is a crazy bar. That is an S tier bar. A use of language right there. Now, I'm just so passionate about 2014 Eminem because that's also Psychopath Killer. That's like that entire time period is a ridiculous time period for Eminem. I think that is probably one of Eminem's peaks, for sure. Now the retire. Another one is when my back's against the wall and I'm under attack again, then I'll act as if I'm supposed to. When my back's against the wall and I'm under attack, I'll act like if I'm supposed to. Now, what that means, like, act if I'm supposed to deal with it, right? Like, that's normal. Like, I'm supposed to deal with it. That's the first meaning, right? My back's against the wall, and I'm under attack because everyone's always attacking Eminem. The second meaning, bro, reverse that sentence. Like I'm supposed to, like I'm a poster, where your back is against the wall, like a poster, and a poster is under attack. Like literally where you put a thumbtack into a poster and the poster is under it. Dude, that is a crazy bar. That is a crazy bar. And nobody can tell me different. Let's reset my camera real quick. Nobody can tell me different that is not one of the best bars of all time. That is a crazy use of words to mean two completely different things. And I'm sorry if I'm yelling, if I'm passionate, whatever. That is crazy. Where he's saying when his back against the wall and he's under attack, as in, like somebody's attacking him, but then a poster's back is literally against the wall and under a thumbtack. That is nuts. I've talked enough about this time period. I'm obviously very passionate about this time period. And it's my absolute favorite. So that's 2013. Now that's going to bring us all the way to Revival. Revival. Everybody hates this album. Now, I might be slightly out of that bubble where everybody hates this album. I personally think that Encore or that Revival is not made for your typical rap listener. What's up, Versus? I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. I personally think that Revival is not meant for the average listener. Revival is where Eminem probably thought it was possible that he was going to retire. Maybe, I don't know. I can't read his mind. But I do. A lot of people hate Revival, and I get it. The younger generation, Revival's trash. The mid-generation, like 13 to like 18, Eminem's trash. The 18 to maybe 26, Revival's trash. But if you ask some people that are older than 26, older than 30 about Revival, Revival might be one of their favorite albums. Now, think about this. Eminem is pushing mid-40s, early 40s around this time. Eminem does not have to make music that you like anymore. Eminem, from the beginning, made music to keep him alive. This man had an insane drug addiction. This man had ridiculous problems that he needed to solve himself. And the way that he solved it, and this is Rihanna's words. This is Pink's words. This everybody's words, not mine. Eminem used music to keep himself alive. Revival was probably a really hard time for him because this was, dude, I did Kamikaze first. Fuck. Sorry, guys. This was supposed to kind of be in order, but whatever. Revival was an album that he wanted to put out, that he made, and you guys got to remember when I went back to Relapse. Since Relapse, Eminem is not the same artist from his first 4 albums. You have to think of Eminem as a completely different person because he is. He's off drug addiction. He's sober. And you're not the same person after that. Now, I can't speak from experience, but I know a lot of other people that can speak from experience. You're not the same person, bro. Like, you're really just not. So, I'm going to put Revival at a C. Because there are some good songs in there that I can bump. Arose, Castle. Honestly, I really like Offended. Offended in Revival, and it's embedded in my head. I never hunted for the bread and butter. All I wanted was to be the one that they were scared of, but I'm never gonna get the credit for the sweater. But I've been independent when I did. I wonder would they put me on a pedestal? I forget I was if it's incredible. I guess I better go harder than ever because I'm all of that, dude. That's so good. I love Offended. There's some funny bars in there. Eminem is doing what he wants, and he made an album that he wanted to make in Revival. And I respect that. So that's why I'm not going to give it a disrespect and put it at D like most people would. I'm going to put it at C. And this all might change. Let's get through it. What's up, Toxic? What's going on, brother? All right. Now, let's keep going. Last one before we rearrange some of this. Last one before we rearrange everything. We got Music to Be Murdered By. I guess we're going to count side A and side B. And again, this is all my personal taste, guys. This is just my cup of tea, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I can say what I enjoy. My personal taste on Music to Be Murdered By. Damn. Music to Be Murdered By. S tier. S tier. And I'm going to put it in S tier. And I'm not going to apologize. You know why? Because Music to Be Murdered By and Eminem in this current state that he is, present day Eminem, is the best rapper of all time. The current state of Eminem. I'm not talking about the coolest. I'm not talking about the most mainstream. I'm not talking about the vibiest or the hippest. I'm talking about straight lyrics when you give this man a microphone and he steps up to the plate and he puts that microphone to his fucking mouth, Eminem is the best rapper of all time present day. And Music to Be Murdered By is a clear indication of that. The bars that I hear. Now listen. I'm not talking about now I might move this to A. There's a very, very strong argument this is A, okay? But let me, off the dome, I'm going to put it on an S. It's possible I'll move it to an A. It's possible. Like, give me a few minutes and it's possible I'll move it to an A. But I'm not talking about yeah. My name is Eminem. I like the feminine, feminine, and then ascending. I'm not talking about what's cool to play. I'm not talking about what they play in a bar. I'm talking about straight up rap, and that's what I like. Personally, that's what I like. I'd rather hear of his monotone voice with stupid bars. I'd rather hear that than like a Recovery with no bars in it. Recovery had some bars. That's why I'm going to keep it at an A. But if Recovery had just straight up replay value and no bars, no like good rap, Recovery would probably... I don't think Recovery would ever be a B. If Recovery was Recovery without bars, it'd be a C. It would skip a B and go straight to C. Because the bars are very mainstream. No. The beats are very mainstream. But the bars, the little bitty bars that Eminem slips in there, they're for mainstream rap listeners, right? Like I'm gonna, and Not Afraid, I'm gonna go into a bar and lift this liquor counter up because I'm raising the bar, or flip the, I forgot what the bar is. There's just a couple in there that are like, if my wife was gonna listen to this, she'd be like, oh yeah, like I get it, you know, like, oh, that makes sense. That's what Recovery is for. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Music to Be Murdered By has some of the ridiculously most complex and most fun rapping I've ever heard. Ethan, I got you. Sumalama Dumalama, you assuming I'm a human. What I gotta do to get it through to you? I'm superhuman, and then I made a rubber so that anything you say is ricocheting off of me and it'll glue to you. I'm devastated, more than demonstrating how to give a motherfucking audience a feeling like it's levitating, never fading, and I know the haters of it. Waiting for it, they can say I fell off, they'll be celebrating. Because I know the way to get it motivated and make elevated music. You make elevated music. There you go, Ethan. That's funny. Anyway, we're having a good time. But Music to Be Murdered By may not be popular with the kids. It may not be popular with the teenagers. But it is a ridiculously strong rap album. So, off the dome. Off the dome, this is my tier list. All right? Off the dome. Now, let's make a couple of edits. Off the bat, Slim Shady LP moves to an A. Off the bat, I move this up. I move this up because you have to respect Eminem to be able to put out something like this, like Revival, and be okay with it. I don't think he necessarily thought it would get as much negative attention as it did, but I respect Eminem for literally doing exactly what he wanted. You know what? Nah. I'm gonna move Recovery to a B, and I'm gonna keep Revival at a C. Nah, I respect Eminem so much for putting out Revival, but I don't know, man. I can't climb the ranks, not right now. Encore staying at a D, Infinite and Revival, yeah, I think they're on the same level. I'm very tempted to put Eminem Show at an A. And I understand a lot of people like the Eminem Show. Personally, I see a lot of holes and a lot of things that would have been better if Eminem wasn't filming 8 Mile at the same time as the Eminem Show. If Eminem had all of his attention on the Eminem Show and it wasn't split 50-50 with 8 Mile and the Eminem Show, yeah, Eminem Show's going to an A. I convinced myself. Eminem Show had the potential to be no skips. I feel like there's a skip or two in there that I just personally can't. I just don't like this type of rap. Eminem was strictly going for flow. There's probably no bars in Eminem Show, and that's fine, right? Like, that's fine that there's no bars in it. This is all my personal taste. I'm really thinking about this. This is my personal taste. Eminem Show has a couple of skips, and I think the only reason why I'm going to put Eminem Show at an A is strictly because he was 50-50 attention split. It just was. And that's not his fault. It's something that he wanted to do. I think 8 Mile is a good movie. I wish there was a little bit more rap in it. And that's where I'm just like, this, Eminem had the potential to do something stupid. And he had the potential, I think, to outdo the Beatles, to outdo Michael Jackson. He had the potential to be the biggest artist of all time. Now think about it, dude. Nobody's going to be able to know that while they're doing it. Like, 20 years later, we're like, bro, he could have been the biggest. It's 20 years after this happened, bro. I mean, not yet, but almost. 18 years after the launch of Eminem Show. Looking back, I'm happy he did what he did. Because 8 Mile launched his career a little bit. The Eminem Show didn't really hit. It maybe hit mainstream a little bit. But I think the Eminem Show was just him having fun. And when the Eminem Show came out, he was like, bro, I'm at the fucking top of the game. Like, I can put out whatever I want. Now, again, this is him going through a lot of hardships and this and that. But I'm going to keep Eminem Show at an A. And I think that's strong. Now, the only thing that I may want to move is I'm tempted to put Kamikaze at an S. Personally, I am. And I have no shame in saying that. I'm tempted to put Eminem Show at an S because when this album launched, I'll never forget the feeling of listening to this album the very first time. So many, no many, him and no many, so many, turn in a rotating motion. The pinnacle with the sick individual, stick a ticket, but the tip of minimal. The fucking these syllables. I'm looking at my generals. I'm fitted, but it's a little bit of a. When this album launched, I don't know the rap. I'm just messing around, but I actually never learned that verse, and I probably should. But Kamikaze, when that album launched, it exploded the internet. It brought Eminem back into the mainstream 100%. Venom, I got that adrenaline, and no one and he started all get him. Venom is a huge song. It is a huge song. Everybody knows Venom. Everybody knows Venom. I would say Kamikaze had as big or a very similar impact to Slim Shady LP and the Marshall Mathers LP, which is why I really want to put it at an S tier. But for now, I'm going to keep it at an A. Now, the only other thing I'm tempted to do is put Marshall Mathers LP 2 at a B. Here's why. Here's why, and here's the only thing saving it from that. Love the Way You Lie. Everyone knows Godzilla. Exactly, bro. Everybody knows Godzilla. Now, I still think that it's not as big as Venom, as Love the Way You Lie, and as big as Rap God. Literally every person on Earth knows Rap God. 100%. I proved it on Omegle yesterday on my live stream. Every single person knew who Rap God was, and they were all over the world. Now, again, let me finish my thoughts on Marshall Mathers LP 2. If Marshall Mathers LP 2 did not have Rap God, Love the Way You Lie, and maybe one more, it'd be a hard B. It'd be a hard B. Because I do think, there's a good amount of skip. Baby in Marshall Mathers LP 2, it has a really cool bar in there. It says, I love being the king of the playground because when I get pushed, I end up swinging. Get it? Like, being the king of the playground, when I get pushed, I end up swinging. As in, you're sitting on a swing of the playground, and when someone literally pushes you on the swing, or when literally someone pushes you, you start swinging. But at the same time, when someone pushes your temper and you literally punch them. So, what's up, Sharky? Someone pushes your temper and you swing on them like you punch. That's a really cool double that I really like. That's one that's always stuck with me. Now, Rap God and Love the Way You Lie are the only things keeping Marshall Mathers LP 2 in an A. The only thing preventing Kamikaze from being an S is probably the vibe that people took away from Kamikaze. Yes, everyone also knows Lose Yourself, exactly. Lose Yourself isn't... Oh, yeah, so that's another soundtrack that's not on here, the 8 Mile soundtrack. Lose Yourself was around the same time period, which is closer to the Eminem Show than it is on Marshall Mathers LP 2, which does really give good reason why the Eminem Show could go up to S, but I digress. It's all good, but... yeah, I don't know, guys. I think that's my final thoughts on it, man. That's my final thoughts on the Eminem album list. This is my personal album tier list. If you guys don't like it, that's totally fine. If you guys have your own opinions, it's totally chill. But personally, this is what I think of all of his albums, okay? So I don't want to drag this live on too long because I want this to be a video that can be clicked on by other people and actually watched all the way through. So I'm going to be going live on Twitch in maybe about 20 minutes-ish. Possibly. So, yo, everybody in the stream, you guys, exclamation point Twitch, Toxic, if you could hook me up, exclamation point Twitch in the chat. You guys go drop a follow, and I'm probably going to be there in about 20 minutes. We're going to play some video games, all right? YouTube, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys liked it. This is just my honest opinions on his tier list. I might do like a top 5, top 10 Eminem bars of all time or Eminem verses of all time, from what I know. But, did it not work? Hopefully it'll work. There you go. There it is, baby. You guys go drop a follow, go hang out, and it'll be a good time. But I'm probably going to do a top 5 or 10 verse and bars coming soon. I just need to kind of get it all ready, and we'll get going. But anyway, YouTube, it was awesome hanging out with you guys. It was awesome talking to all of y'all. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. YouTube, I'm out of here. Take it easy. Big Brainers, I'm out of here. Peace.